All right, guys, let's get to some stuff on the field. The Chiefs can become the first NFL team to win 3 consecutive league titles since Vince Lombardi's Packers in 1967. Joe, are these just the guys to do it?
I mean, as we sit here right now, I would say they're the team to beat still. But as we all know, it's why there's flex scheduling with the jobs we do on TV. What looks good in May and a schedule, or in August, even after preseason, you're one injury away from the entire narrative and the feel for a conference or a league changing. So, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is otherworldly. So in my mind, yeah, I mean, they're the team to beat in the AFC. I think San Francisco is still the team to beat in the NFC. But again, we are a long way away from January, and we'll see where we are when that comes around. But if the question is asked right now, can they, will they, my answer would be yes.
Mike?
They're the team to beat. Andy Reid always finds, with every team he's been with, finds a way to have just a little bit of a new edge and wrinkle to the offense that highlights the talents of the guys on his roster and keeps the guys who've been there for a long time sharp and with an edge and ready to find a new frontier offensively. But what Steve Spagnuolo did with the young defense last year as the defensive coordinator really set them apart a little bit. So they feel like they have the fewest questions going into the season compared to the other teams. But you're one untimely injury away from things changing. So that's the one unknown. But I'm with Joe. As of now, that's the team that has the most answers that are in the affirmative for me to say that's the best team in the NFL going into the season.
Kevin?
And can they survive a rugged AFC? Look at the great quarterbacks. Literally every team has some prominent person under center, quarterbacking their team, surviving just their conference, and their week-to-week target on their back is going to be monumental. But it was last year. You know, their regular season last year was not great. And I think we all remember the Christmas game in Arrowhead against the Raiders. And they thought there is no way they're going to collect themselves and make a run. But sure enough, with that coach and that quarterback and the resolve they had in minus 29-degree weather, Mike, you were there in Arrowhead in Kansas City. They survived that, which was an unhuman type of game weather-wise. Then they go to Buffalo, and then they go to Baltimore. So they gathered themselves in the footprint of the playoffs and when the games mattered most. And showing that kind of resolve, I thought was just incredible. And they truly were the champion that they were crowned later on in February.
Kevin, I would add to it in this manner. The mystique is back with Kansas City. All of us experienced it with New England, different iterations of the Patriots where you felt the mystique. At home, they felt unbeatable. The community backed them in a manner that made them so invincible. Kevin knows firsthand in Kansas City what Chiefs football means there. But now when you travel and you feel that energy, there's a different vibe and buzz when the Chiefs are in town, when Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are there. So I do think there's a special quality with this team. They are the team on the mountaintop. Everybody is trying to get to that place to match what has been such an incredible run.
Now, Ian, none of you, in fact, mentioned another member of that cast of characters around the Chiefs. When you see Taylor Swift pop up in your monitor, and she's in the stadium, and you've got to think, you know what's happening on social media, you know what everybody's saying, somebody's going to be unhappy. There are too many shots, there are too few shots. What are you thinking, Joe, when you see her at the stadium?
I think of what Kevin said earlier, being a girl dad. I've got daughters that are 28 and 25. They just saw her in London. Clearly, my daughters live a really rough life. And I know that they've told me many times, Dad, I know you think you're funny, okay? We know you think you're a funny guy. But when she comes up on the screen, don't try to make a joke, because you will get crucified for anything you say. And you do not want Taylor Swift's army coming after you. So I've never been in that situation. I haven't to this point. We've got 2 games at Arrowhead this year. My daughters have already looked at Taylor's schedule. They believe she will be there. So maybe 2024 is my time to do a game with Taylor Swift in the crowd. And when that time comes, I will not make a joke. I will take it very seriously, and I will tell the world how in love they are and how much better the whole thing has made the National Football League.